Do you know what an anchor is? Someone that's holding the boat steady. He was the anchor because he was caught on the debris on the bottom of the sea. And the storm was pulling the boat. Imagine, and he was hearing, if you go underwater, you hear everything very clearly. He was hearing the storm tear, and then all of a sudden, it what? Snapped. He lost his oxygen, he lost his communication. He had a small bottle. The guys that dive have a small bottle in their head. And their head, they put it on and it lasts for 7 minutes. And so he saw the cable go and there was darkness. He couldn't even see his hand because on the bottom of the water is murky, it's complete. He couldn't see his hand. And then he put on the snorkel, his oxygen. And then he was panting, screaming. But he's in helmet. You have to talk to the mic, but his mic's gone. His oxygen is gone. His connections are gone. And then his body just took over. You know, when you are in a state of shock, your body takes over. His body took over and his body just slowed him down. He found himself slowing down. His heart's slowing down and everything's slowing down. And then he saw the light disappear. That, my friend, is hopelessness. The boat had gone. He had 7 minutes. He was hopeless because he was thinking about what? Death. He was saying, I'm going to die now and all that. Now, literally, the guy actually passed away, but he came back. They resuscitated him. He was left on the bottom for 45 minutes. Okay? You can Google him up. Now, I'm saying that because none of us have been in that situation. That is total what? Hopelessness. That is discouragement. Discouragement can take you to that place where you are hopeless. And today I want to talk about overcoming what? Discouragement. Overcoming discouragement. And I'm going to use the story of the spies. And I'll quickly run over this. The story of the spies in the Bible. Numbers 13. Let us read. Can we all see the screen? All right. 12 scouts explore Canaan. The Lord said to Moses, send out men to explore the land of where? The land of where? The land of Canaan. The land I'm giving to the Israelites. Send one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes. So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He sent out 12 men, all tribal leaders of Israel, from their camp in the wilderness of Paran. So Moses sent out 12 men to go and spy the land. Now, the Israelites had just come out of Egypt. They were excited. Hey, we are free. We are free. We have been bound for 250 years. And they were free and they were coming out of Egypt. And as they were running out, Moses said, go spy the land that we're going into. Now, this is verse 25. After exploring the land for 40 days. How many days? How many days, people? 40 days. The men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community what they had what? What they had seen. And showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. That's why you see them with the grapes. Okay? They had taken fruit from the land. This was their report to Moses. Now, watch this. Did any of the people see the land? Did any of the people see the land? They are listening to a report. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and it's indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But here is the kind of fruit what it produces. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once and take the land, he said. We can certainly conquer it. Now, watch what the other men said. But the other men who had explored the land with him, what did they do? Disagree. They said, we can't go up against them. Let's read it together. They are stronger than we are. Verse 32. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. They said, the land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who lives there. All the people we saw were what? Huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like what? Grasshoppers. And that's what they thought too. Now in verse 14, after they had heard what the men had said, the Bible says in verse 14, then the whole community began weeping what? Aloud. And they cried all night. Their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If we had only died where? In Egypt. Or even here in the wilderness, they complained. These people were discouraged because of what they heard from the spies. Now I want to ask you a question. Have you heard a bad news before? Have you heard something bad before? Okay, that discourages you. That discourages you. And sometimes you've not even experienced it, you just heard it. Now I want you to watch what happened. The two spies, let me pick these two spies, okay? Come on. These are two spies. Can we see them? Okay, they are carrying fruit, and this is their fruit. Two of you hold it. I'm using the kids today because we have them, okay? They went into the land, and they carried fruit. Fruit is a good thing, isn't it? Fruit is a good thing. Oh, we got fruit. We got food. Then they said, but if you go there, the land is bad. The land kills everybody that enters it. Did any of them die? Did any of them die? If one died, they'll say, you know what? Scott died. You know, because Scott died, we shouldn't go into the land. But they didn't say that. They brought fruit. Fruit is good. They said the land is looking good. But there are bad people in the land. If you go there, you will die. None of them died. Do you know what? The Israelites chose to believe what they heard rather than what they saw. Do you see why words are so powerful? They were seeing fruit. They were seeing that nobody died. But yet they chose to believe what they heard rather than what they saw. Thank you. We believe you. We can see you. Thank you so much. You can sit down. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for them. I wanted you to see them. So they chose to believe what they heard. Now I'll give you a little story and I'll be wrapping up soon. There is a book called Secrets of the Mountain, and the guy that wrote it, Pat Williams, kids, listen to me. He said that, how many of you have brown eyes here? How many of you have blue eyes here? Blue eyes. Okay. He said in his book, he actually went to a class. He told all the students, he said, blue-eyed kids are smarter than brown-eyed kids. It's a lie, isn't it? Give me a knuckle. Do you know after he said that, all the blue-eyed kids started performing better in class? You can check the book and the research. They started performing better. When they go home, they said, you know what? I have blue eyes. I am smart. The one that has brown eyes said, I'm brown eyes. I'm dull. And they relaxed. And they didn't try harder because they believed what they heard. They believed what they heard. But it was not true. The guy actually went to another class and told them, the brown-eyed kids are smarter than the blue eyes. And the reverse happened in the other class. Why? Because of what they heard. And what you hear sometimes discourages you. And so kids, be careful what you hear. Don't get discouraged. Even adults, don't get discouraged. And we must be careful what we take in. What we take in. I will put something on the screen here very quickly. Okay. How many of you know what is on the screen? Everybody knows that. That is Big Mac. Okay. Now, if you take a McDonald's burger, to get it out of you, you have to run for 1 hour. To burn what you just ate, you have to run from here to like Union Street and back. Okay? To get out what just entered you, you have to do a lot. How many of you have done exercise before and you just check the calories, just 20? You're like, it's so difficult, isn't it? How many of you have done exercise and found that before? Tammy, have you? You have? Have you? Yes. Very difficult to get it out. Like, I've been running for 15 minutes and I've only burnt how many? 26 calories. What is this? It's so difficult to get the calories out of you, but very easy to get it what? In. It's the same with words, bad words. When the bad words enter, it is so difficult to get the bad words out. The guy thinks about it and thinks, but that's why it's important to prevent the bad words coming in. Check what you hear. Be careful what you hear. As it's difficult to burn a McDonald's and fry, it's very difficult to get bad. I'm not saying McDonald's is bad, okay? I really love them. Sometimes they're very... Is it not good? Isn't it, kids? It's not good. That's a healthy one. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. Okay, depends on the day. Okay.